What's up? Welcome to this week's show of What's Up with Nitro Dave. Today, John's out with a sick kid.
Oh, no.
So I don't have my normal co-host, so I have a special co-host, Clifton Winkleman. No.
Winkleman.
We call him Cliff here.
Yes.
So Cliff works in our R&D department. One of the major sources behind the designs that we do, instructions, product creation. So this is actually his room.
Yeah.
Welcome
in.
One of the guys that work in here. So he's right at home. For you guys that are tuning in for the first time, we do this every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central. So this is our 11th episode.
Ooh, 11th.
And I feel like we're getting better and better each time. A little more comfortable.
Okay.
Last week, we had an amazing guest. Last week, we had Ryan Martin.
Yeah.
That was a big show.
That's a big deal, yeah.
Before that, we had why's my brain not working today? You guys are going to have to go around that way.
We're videoing.
We're doing a podcast. Sorry. Yeah, no problem.
Let's see. Who'd we have?
Wheeler. Nathan Wheeler.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry. My brain's not functioning today.
We had the truck in here, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. That's a nice piece.
Yeah.
Woo.
So
That's beautiful.
And then the week before that, we had Eric and DeMarcus from. No, DeMarcus didn't make it. No, DeMarcus made it, but TJ didn't. That was from Texas Motorplex.
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Well, sometimes you do them online. They're not always in-house.
They were in-house.
Sometimes.
Yes.
But not always.
Yeah.
But we also, you've done, so you did Thomas West and you did, who's the other one? Oh.
Yeah, we did Eric LaFair.
Eric, yeah. White Rice.
Team White Rice.
Yeah.
So we had some great guests.
Yeah.
So I have no clue what next week's is. The marketing guys always ask me on Wednesday right after we finish the show, what's next week? And I'm like, I don't know. But if I gave them heads up, they could probably market this properly.
Well, a leopard can't change its spot today.
Right. So, yeah, that would definitely make it easier. John says, "What's up?" from home.
Oh.
All right. So this weekend was Easter.
Yeah.
So I really don't have a whole lot to report on who won what, but I do have a couple of spotlights. Radial Redemption at Holly Springs was this weekend.
Yeah.
And Ty and Bobby Crook won Small Tire. I feel like every week we're saying something about the Crooks. Those guys are just...
Well, they're on their game. Yeah. They're really good.
So for you guys that haven't put that together, Bobby and Billy are brothers, right? Scotty is Billy's son. Chevy and Ty is Bobby's son. And they're just one big racing family. So
nice.
They definitely earn their spot in our Racer Spotlights every week.
Oh, yeah.
And they represent us very well.
They do.
So
they do.
Now, there was a 5-inch big tire no time race at Darlington Dragway.
Okay.
And I've been helping a customer named Chris Patrick, and he's been fighting through just new, I don't know if it's new car blues, but just getting everything to flow and function correctly. So I went over a system with them and we discussed things, and I made some suggestions on some things to change. And this weekend was their first time out with it. And all the stars aligned. I always like saying that because, like racing, sometimes everything just has to come together.
Sometimes.
And it came together. And so Chris is tuning the car. Bryant Mariner owns the car. And Nicholas Stiles, which is Chris's stepson, is driving the car.
Okay.
And they made it to the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 5-inch big tire no time. Now, it was also a personal best pass for Nicholas. But I can't tell you how fast it was because it's no time.
No time.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Live in fear.
Just know it was his fastest pass.
That car's fast.
Right? So,
yeah.
And it's a pretty cool car.
And being that it's their first time to really click, they're only going to get faster.
Absolutely. And, Chris texted me and he said, hey, did you see our results for the weekend? So I went and looked it up. And if you go look on Chris Patrick's Facebook page, there's some nice passes. It's Corvette, silver Corvette, great looking car. Looks fast. So congratulations for those guys to getting it worked out. Now, for you guys that are tuning in, I'll just kind of give you a preview of the show. We're going to do some fast walkthrough through the shop here in a little bit, and then we're going to go into tech tips. Okay. And we're going to use Orange Juice as a platform for showing those tech tips.
Nice,
right? So, but before we do that, we're going to talk about upcoming events.
Oh yeah, that's a big list.
There is a lot of upcoming events. So first of all, this weekend, there's a lot of races this weekend. So John Sears is putting on Woodstock at Edge Motorsports Park.
Edgewater, yeah.
I have a feeling that's a Donald Long series, and John is doing Limited Street in it, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I might need to fine tune that before the next show. T&E Promotions is presenting down memory lane at the Texas Motorplex.
Is that like classic muscle cars? What is that?
No, it's kind of a mix of I don't really know the classes. Oh. So Friday, I do know that it's private testing.
Okay.
Which you can, for you guys that wants, where you're not showing up with 50,000 other cars to try to test around. Friday, they're hosting, I think it's generally they're anywhere from, if I had to guess, I'm going to say 300 a car. I'm probably wrong. Could be 200 a car. You'd have to reach out to Eric McClellan, and or you could go to the T&E Promotions page, okay, and reach out to him about testing. But anyways, Friday is private testing, and then Saturday is an event. It's a one-day event, then that same weekend,
this coming weekend,
is a no prep race at Paris Drag Strip. Matthew Harding is putting on Camp Wars 2.
Okay.
So, and then another radial race. I seen Daddy Dave post that he's coming to this race.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's coming to Radial Bear Slayer at Twin City Raceway. And that's Rustin Ledbetter's race, and it's at Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah, up there in north part of Louisiana. Yeah.
That's going to be a big race.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I've actually seen a lot of fast racers say they're going. So he's going to have a good turnout there.
Yeah, nice.
Same weekend, Gainesville Raceway, Gainesville, Florida, streetcar takeover.
There you go.
So this is part of their series. They're putting on a series. I think it's like 6 or 7. I don't know how they do it. There's like 2 events a month. And so they were just at Atlanta. Okay. In Atlanta Motor Speedway, or the NASCAR track thing.
Oh, okay.
So they were just there. That was a huge event. And now they're over at Gainesville
at the big NHRA track. Yeah.
And then they actually have another one. They bounce over. They got 2 in May. So we'll get to that. So let's go to so that's all for the rest of April. Yeah. Which this is the last week in April.
Last week, right.
May. Holy crap, that's a lot of races. If you can't find somewhere to race in May, you got issues. You don't really want to race. So
sometimes when you own a race car, sometimes you have those issues.
Yeah. No doubt. Sometimes you just want to break. So Bama Outlaws. So Donald Long, Duck Etch Promotions.
Yeah, it's part of the Lights Out, No Mercy, all that group.
Yep, the whole Radial Outlaw series. Radial Outlaw series. It's going to be Bama Outlaws at Alabama International Raceway. That is going to be 4:30 to 5:30. So that's starting and then going on into the 1st of May. So, and then this is a cool event. This is local. This is right here in Waco, Texas.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
JB Brackens is hosting C10s on the Brazos.
Where's that?
Last year it was at what's the park over there by the
Cameron Park?
No, it was over there. I think it was over there at the Texas. What are those? Rangers Museum.
Oh,
Park.
Yeah. I don't know, but down on the river there.
Yeah, over there in Baylor.
Yeah.
So
nice, beautiful setting. That's where they used to have that Memorial Day weekend. They'd have the car show there before you go cruise the valley.
That was fun. That was fun. So I could be wrong. It might be over at the Baylor Stadium.
Might be.
Because everything's kind of transitioned over there.
Big parking lot there.
Yeah. John, if you're listening, you can fill us in on where that's at. All right. And then 5/8, Streetcar Takeover, Indianapolis Dragway. So then they're going to bounce over to Indianapolis. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know if these guys have any home life anymore. Not during race season.
Oh, you're
So
hustling
they're
during
busy.
race season. But
They're
just be aware, if you're going to that event, make sure you've already made arrangements for your mom. That's Mother's Day weekend. So make sure you've already got something for mom set up if you're going to be out there racing.
And if you got caught up in getting your car ready and you forgot, you could always call it in and Uber it to her.
Yes, there are plenty of ways to get it handled. So get it handled.
Don't forget mom.
Don't forget
I'm glad
mom.
you told me that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So. All right. Then at the Gut Motorcycle Drags, Ronnie Barnes, Yellow Belly Dragway. That's going to be on 5/10.
5/10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Saturday.
For you guys, I don't know if you ever look at Ronnie's pictures, but Ronnie takes amazing pictures. He's a photographer.
Yeah.
And he also works out at the Gut.
Okay.
And he's putting on this race.
Nice.
So,
okay. I guess he's a motorcycle fan.
Yes.
All right.
Ronnie's a good dude. I like Ronnie. All right. And same weekend, 5/11, Randy Kelly Sunday service. And it's at Extreme Raceway Park. So this will be his second race.
Okay.
And guess what? Puts him on Sundays.
Sunday service on a Sunday.
I know you thought it was at church, but it's not.
What?
It's church at the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, I've done burnouts in church parking lots, so it's, you know.
There you go. Is that sacrilegious? Or?
I was celebrating Jesus, okay?
There you go. Okay. All right. John Verrett just said the C10 on the Brazos is at the stadium.
At the stadium.
At the
At
stadium.
McLean Stadium. So literally across University Parks from the Texas Ranger Museum. Yeah. If you can't find McLean Stadium, you aren't looking.
And if you've never been to McLean Stadium, that's a great opportunity to check out the stadium while you're there.
It's a neat place. Actually, point of interest, my daughter, school teacher, she's taking her class on a field trip to McLean Stadium today.
Really?
Right now.
Nice. So there you go. This race is going to be huge.
So what is Sunday service? What kind of event is that?
It's a heads-up drag racing class. He puts on a single class, and I can't remember the rules, but it's I think it has to weigh at least 2,900 pounds if I remember correctly.
Is it more streetcar, run with your brung? Does it matter?
I think you better be fast.
I believe that. Big tire, small tire? Do you know?
It's a small tire shootout.
Okay.
Randy, if you're listening, jump in there and give us some info on the race. So, streetcar bragging rights, Rockingham Dragway.
Rockingham.
That is going to be on 5/15 to 5/17.
Okay.
That race is going to be huge. So that's Nate's race, and
yeah,
our event trailer will be there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Roger, and I don't know who he's taking, if he's taking Brad or Chase or.
So Rockingham Dragway, what's our connection to Rockingham? Dan Van Horn.
And Al.
The man.
Yeah,
and Al. Yeah. Al. That's a good dude right there.
Yes. So, so that's going to be, and it's kind of crazy. I've been trying to make it to the racetrack forever, and something always is going on, so I never get to make it. And I don't get to make it this one either because I'll be at Bobby Crook's race. Bobby and James Futch is putting on Radio Gangsters Paradise at Prescott Dragway, same weekend.
Prescott.
And that's got a bunch of big hitters.
Okay.
You know, that's where I flipped Stitch at.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So we plan on taking orange juice, and Lisa's like, "You're not racing orange juice at Prescott." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I am." I just know better than to let it eat with no.
Yeah. Well.
So, yeah. I think I learned my lesson.
Okay.
So, all right. So I'm going to race at Bobby Crook's event, which is Radio Gangsters Paradise. I don't know if I'm going to drive it or if Mike's going to drive it, because Mike's trying to get ready for our Clash of the Titans series, which is at the end of this month. Yeah. And he needs some seat time. He's never drove orange juice. Okay. But at the same time, I kind of, you know how like when you fall off a horse, you're supposed to get back on, and you
haven't been back on yet since you rolled.
Not to Prescott.
Oh, not to Prescott.
I've ran, but I haven't been down Prescott, so I kind of feel like I need to conquer Prescott. Yeah, that's true. So I don't know. I think me and Mike will make a decision. What's better for the racing series instead of what Dave just necessarily wants to do. Okay. Right. So.
Okay.
All right. So, and that same weekend,
Oh my goodness.
right, is LS Fest,
Oh,
Texas.
that's right. LS Fest, Texas.
Yes, right there
Wow.
at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
And that's a cool event.
That is. That's it. That
As a matter
is.
of fact, John Verrett's getting his truck ready to go.
Okay.
So we're going to be sprung out everywhere.
Yeah.
We're going to be at Rockingham, we're going to be at Prescott, and we're going to be at Texas Motor Speedway on the same weekend.
Okay.
Nitrous Outlet's going to be everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sounds good.
all right, and John's been thrashing around to get his truck ready for that.
Yeah.
So
I saw he's been posting. He's been trying to get it ready.
yep. So
Also that weekend. What is that?
yep. Also that weekend, Michael Hill's Hitman's No Time Series. That's the 484 cars. Those cars are fast.
Yeah, they are.
And they're nice. And that's part of his series, and it's at Darlington Dragway.
South Carolina.
Yes.
Wow.
And, we sponsor events, right? And then there's always certain promoters that really just stand out at making sure that you're getting a return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of them. So is Nate.
Nice.
And he's one of them because he makes sure that our banners in the winter circles, they're hung up at the events. Banners are something that some event promoters forget about. And we always notice. Like when we come back, we have a file, inside base camp, and we put this promoter didn't hang our banners or this promoter did this. And it's everything we look back on for next year.
Right.
To keep building that relationship. So I got to say thank you, Mike Hill. That is, it's noticed. It is noticed. So, and that's, in order for us to sponsor an event, we have to sell product. So we need the help from the racers.
Get the name out there.
And you need brand recognition, which is nice, but cash flow is the king. In order for us to give it, we have to, right? So it all goes around.
There you go.
Thank you, Mike Hill. Now my buddy Justin, that same weekend, is putting on the West Texas Streetcar Association series. So Justin Harvey's putting that on, and that's at Concho Valley Dragway. That's that new all concrete dragway.
Is that the one in Abilene? No. Where's that?
It's Concho Valley.
Concho Valley.
It's Abilene. No. It's up by Odessa and stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay. So just West Texas.
Yeah. Literally, it's West Texas.
We're going to be stretched from West Texas all the way over to the East Coast.
Yes. So
in one weekend.
Now you guys might hear a blast in a minute because we are sitting in the R&D room and Brad is flowing an intake over there. So you're going to hear some noise. All right. So that's that same weekend. Phew. That's how many races that weekend? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races that one weekend. Like,
wow.
If you can't find somewhere to race that weekend, are you really trying to race? No. So, all right. So then, let's see here. Popeye Sailorman Productions Streetcar Reunion No Time Overdrive Series is Holly Springs Motorsports Park, 522, 524. And then we're going to jump into 527, 531, the Shakedown at Motown. I like the way that sounds.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
up there in Michigan, those guys have some serious machinery.
I've never been there.
Oh, man.
So
they
that's
don't
US
play
131.
around. That's
cool.
Some of that real gangster stuff right there. It's fast stuff.
Well, I haven't been there. Maybe eventually.
You need to go.
All right. So then the last weekend of the month.
Here we go.
Last weekend of May, Streetcar Takeover hits Texas Motorplex in Texas, right?
Right.
And guess what?
Clash of the Titans.
Same weekend, right there at the event.
Wow.
Oh, we got a cheat sheet over here. Justin
Concho
Harvey's
Valley.
race is at San Angelo.
San Angelo.
Yeah. Well, got my back. All right. So Streetcar Takeover is at the Texas Motorplex, and Clash of the Titans, our first race of the year.
Nice.
Of the series. And I already have 28 cars signed up for a 32 car field. So we haven't even done the event flyer yet.
Have you entered your car yet?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Go for it. We're going to get interrupted here in just a second. So that will be the same weekend.
Okay.
right here in
Texas
our
Motorplex.
hometown.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That will be, Mike will be driving orange juice.
Very good.
All right. All right, so let's talk about the class real quick. Make sure you join. If you're interested in the class series, join the Facebook group, Nitro Dave's Clash of the Titans. You can read up on the rules, look at the schedule, read on how the point series works, what the payouts are, and ask any questions. So make sure you join that. Our race schedule is Texas Motorplex, May 30, 31st. Then Streetcar Takeover at Z-Match Dragway, June 26th through 28th. And then Bodie's Grudge Bowl, US 60 Dragway, Hardinsburg, July 11th through the 12th. And then Hood to Hood, Texas Motorplex, September 18th through the 20th. Our payout on that thing is over $21,000 for that race. For one class.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
For a series that has just started.
First year.
Also, check out, when you're on that Facebook page, check out all the sponsors that are already signed up and make sure you check into their products. It's a lot of good stuff.
I'm glad you brought that because I actually have 3 new sponsors to update.
Ooh,
so I'm going to come in and I'm going to repost because I had it on the page and then I started the group. So there is a Nitro Dave's Clash Titans page and then a group. But I'm going to come in and update everything with all of our sponsors and then update it with our newest sponsors. Mark is designing a Clash shirt right now, which will have all of our sponsors on it.
I saw the prelims of that. Looks sharp.
Yeah, I think we're going to do a big check. And, of course, it's going to have first place for every race. We'll get a Nitrous bottle trophy.
Nice.
And I'm going to make sure that all the sponsors are on all that stuff. So our sponsors, we're going to hang the banners. We're going to give stickers. Make sure they're definitely getting a return on investment for backing this series.
Yeah, absolutely.
And believing in it. So the year-end final championship party will be at Streetcar Takeover Flying H Drag Strip, Odessa, Missouri, October 24th and 25th. And that's going to be worth double the points.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
yeah, a little
that
twist.
place right there.
Yeah.
You could have somebody that was leading fall behind.
Good thing about that, it's right in the middle of the United States. So it's easy to get to for everybody.
And I hear that's like a Flying H is like a fan favorite track. I've never been there, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think we've kind of hit the time where we're going to just kind of do a fast walkthrough. People like to really kind of see what's going on in the shop.
Okay.
We'll do a fast walkthrough, and then we'll jump over into tech tips.
Sounds good.
Sound like a plan? All right. Oh, by the way, the reason why we're sitting in the carts today is because Cliff unloaded them to bring his car up here to do some flow supply. Cliff, what kind of racing do you do with this?
So this, you can see, it's a little open wheel car. So it's road course racing. For those of you who just go in straight lines, I actually make turns left and right in a circuit. A lot of y'all you've gone to a go-kart track. You've torn up stuff at a go-kart track. Well, I try not to tear up anything. This is it's called a Formula V. Those of you that have a sharp eye, you can see it's got the Volkswagen front suspension. It's got the Beetle engine in it. These cars originated back in the mid-'60s. Entry-level, relatively inexpensive way to get into open-wheel Formula car racing. Not everybody had the money for the Ford V8s or the Offenhausers to go run Indy. So they wanted something that they could run at their local track and just enjoy and race. And so I have one of these, and it's fun to drive. You get 20 or 30 of us out there, and you get in a pack, and you get to racing, and it's just a lot of fun.
Is it kind of like driving a go-kart?
It is. The go-karts with their engines, they wrap up a little quicker.
Yeah.
This one, takes a little longer to get going, but once you're up there, you just want to keep your foot in it.
What's the average speed around the track?
It depends on the track, all right? Because we have different lengths of track. We're not always quarter mile or eighth mile. It could be a 2-mile track, it could be a 3-mile track. But it'll top out just over right at 9,500 miles an hour, depending on the length of the straightaway. But then you don't want to scrub speed going through the corners. So you can corner really fast because it only, with me in it, 825 pounds. That's all.
Okay.
So
now does this, like whenever you go to a tight corner go-kart track, you can feel the G-forces going into turn.
Oh, yeah.
Is this the same way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You did. You'll get a little, you'll get a little slip angle in it because you want it to rotate to get around that corner. But as soon as you are brave enough, you better be back on the throttle.
So now you had mentioned a while back about selling this car. Is it still for sale?
Everything's for sale.
Okay.
Everything's for sale. Somebody wants to get into vintage racing. This is the best way, hands down, to get into it. I'll make a reasonable offer and we can do a deal. You can contact us here at the shop and we can let you know, because I'm always on to the next project, right?
Right.
I mean, I like getting into projects. I like figuring out the next best thing. So you never know. But so if you want something fun to drive, here it is.
So, all right, well, let's do a tour.
All right.
So, Pennywise says he's going to make the May race.
Nice.
This is Chase's area. Chase, for you guys that haven't watched podcast or videos before, Chase does all the bottles, builds the bottles, trailer accessories, fuel cells, hot water baths, all the intensive assembly.
Yeah, the intricate assemblies of all the larger assemblies.
So like this looks like this is a 20-pound Nitrous bottle rack for the trailer. He's putting edge guard on them now. Fuck over here and look, see what he's doing. What's up, Chase? So he's putting the edge guard to protect the bottle from getting scratched up. So once these are made back in the back in fab, the only part of this we outsource is the powder coat. We don't do powder coat in-house. So then when it comes back, he takes and cleans them up, puts the edge guard on them, gets them ready for packaging. This is another one of Cliff's creations. So this is part of our 860 product line. And there's not a whole lot. Actually, I think we're the only people that make trailer accessory for 20-pound bottles.
We might be.
We make hot water baths. This is a hot water bath, so he's assembling hot water baths, assembling bottles at the same time.
Got a fuel jug holder here.
Is that a fuel jug holder?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's your fuel jug holders. Speaking of fuel jug holders, the custom one you just made for Jesse, he messaged me yesterday, asked me when he was getting it.
It's behind my desk. We can show that here in a little bit.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Over here is Rocky. Rocky's training for so Roger is moving to the sales department. So our wiring guy is leaving, and he's running Rocky through a test procedure to see if Rocky can be our new wiring guy. So what are you doing over here, Rocky? We can't hear you. Speak louder.
We're putting resin in to make the push buttons.
So you're assembling push buttons right now. And so this is all part of our I don't know if we have any finished over here, but our momentary trans brake, nitrous activation, line lock, whatever you want it to be.
Radio, anything.
We got the the quick fist style bombs. We just sent a bunch to them at East. So we really did. And then so this is God, that's heavy.
Well, it's gonna be.
So this is for Jesse, and Jesse does burnout competitions.
Right.
And which vehicle is this one going in?
The Nasrod. Nasrod that has his patinaed vintage looking truck.
It's cool. It's all-wheel drive too.
Yeah, all-wheel drive, big old slicks on front and back.
And I think this is the one he's putting a Hemi in. Woo. The blown Hemi.
Yeah.
And of course he's got nitrous.
And he wants to
and flow supply.
He's got a fuel jug sponsor and a ratchet strap sponsor, so he's gonna throw those jugs in there and strap those in.
It's got little
I'll have little ears for it to strap to hold the jugs in place.
The ear's gonna weld right here. We weren't sure on location because depending on how he's gonna set it in there. So he'll weld the ears on, and it's going to bar mount to the back cage back there. And then it's going to have a strap. He's sponsored by, what's the name of that strap company?
I forget which one he said now.
I forgot too. So he's sponsored by a ratcheting strap company, and it'll go through the handles. And that's going to hold these fuel jugs stationary whenever he's slinging this thing around. So
Yeah, he said he wanted something with our logos on it, but it looked like it was they kind of fit the theme of the NAS rod, the rat rod look, and so I just made it look like they're cut out of here, but it looks like it's just a bunch of shop stickers thrown on it.
yeah, I think it's cool. And then he plans on it's not going to stay this color.
Right.
He's going to give it that rustic wrap look to match the vehicle. So it's going to look cool. I can't wait to see the final results here.
Yeah.
All right, let's come on back here. There's a lot of moving parts right now, and honestly, we're just kind of out of building space. We need more space, but these are orders getting ready to go out. This is a intake that we recently done. Let me flip the name over. You can look in there and see the hidden system. A little moneymaker system. So these are all orders getting ready to go out, get boxed. They come through, they get QC'd and signed off right here. These are 1.5 gallon burn down tanks. And so I don't know if you can really get in there and see, but there's actually a baffling system in there. So we make a 3 gallon and a 1.5 gallon. And what this baffling system does, you can kind of see what it does right here. It's welded. That prevents slosh out. So whenever the car takes off, the G-force is moving it. It's going to keep the liquid from coming out the steam pipe and getting on the track. So we generally overflow the radiator and the transmission, and this comes from the valve covers into here. Really, we sell just as many 1.5s as 3 gallons. It's kind of crazy. 1 month we're selling more 3 gallons, and next month we're selling more 1.5s. And so I'm actually in the process of putting one of these in orange juice right now.
Yep.
This is our spark plug caddy, and it's got pockets to hold all your normal accessories. Your
feeler gauge, your reader, your little lube for the thread lube and all that.
So it's kind of cool. The stuff's just sitting here because we didn't stage this. This is just. Here's a. This is let me pull this out of here. This is our floor jack holder for the trailer, and a nice another piece.
Against the wall, slide your jack in there. Place for your handle to slide in. Usually those break apart, so it could fit 2 in there if you need to, or just the 1. And these holes 16-inch on center, like the studs in your wall, so you can screw right into those studs, nice and secure.
So that's another trailer accessory from 860 Performance, which is one of our sister companies underneath the Nitro Dave's umbrella.
We got our little air tool holders. Just did these yesterday. So this you can hang up at your shop, and all your impact and all your air tools. This you can slide that on there, and you can hang them up there on the wall.
And then we also have one for the electric drills, the cordless drills,
bigger
and all
one,
that stuff.
That holds up.
You know what's crazy is we made this stuff, and it's super cheap as far as cost wise. And they didn't sell for the longest time. And then yesterday I come in and you're building these, and I was like, we started selling those? And sometimes I think it just takes time for people to realize that, hey, Nitrous Outlet is building stuff that isn't nitrous.
Right. Shop supplies, trailer supplies. That can go either one.
Now, this is a cool
This
is our intake tool tray. And so this is pieces. It's not assembled yet.
Yeah. But these have legs into these multi-position holes
to sit on the fuel rails.
Your intake, sit on the fuel rail. Or we have a bolt pattern here. I'll set it over here for now. That these rings go on, and you have a 4150 or a 4500 ring, so that'll bolt in place. And then you can set it on your carburetor or your throttle body, whatever you have.
So we make this in a Pro Mild version, which requires an 18-inch or longer fuel rail because it's deeper.
Yeah.
Or our standard version like this. And this is probably our most common because the Pro Mod version would literally have to be like a big Hemi or
959, one of those big
something
monster.
with some girth to it. So those are some cool things that's kind of sitting there. You can see all these are orders getting ready to go out.
Right here.
Yeah, we can Warrior. Let's look at that.
Entry level guy.
Let me tell you about this. I always said that I would never release a spray bar style plate underneath the Nitrous Outlet name unless we could figure out how to fix the delivery and the control of the atomization and do it better. And we did.
We did.
We did.
Really
and
did.
so This is a billet style plate. It works just like a sway bar as far as it's got 2 main channels. But we figured out the science to give a perfectly atomized stream, right? And it's not a Christmas tree effect where one side's spraying harder than the other. I mean, if you screenshot this, I'll put this up against any competitor's style plate like this in the world.
Yes.
This plate right here, if you look, it's a 2-piece design. And that 2-piece is important because that's what it takes to be able to get the mill head to get the correct discharge angle for every intake, right? And I mean, this thing will bolt on any intake. I don't care if it's a what's the one with the dual plenum?
Tunnel ram?
No, not dual plenum. Dual plane. It could be a dual plane intake, single plane.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We have perfected the delivery pattern.
A dual setup for the tunnel rams. We have a 4150 and 4500.
Yep.
For both of those.
And this same technology is in our Hellcat plates.
It is.
Fits in to be in our
Coyote plate.
Coyote /
Godzilla plate.
Yes. And so the technology behind this is we really don't talk about this enough because we really pride ourselves on our Stinger plate series because that's the cream of our crop. That is the best nitrous plate in the world is the Stinger series, right? I'll put it against any plate out there, which is why it's held more class records, broke more class records, and has gotten kicked out of more classes.
Yeah, been outlawed more
because
than anything.
The Tower of Power, right?
The Tower of Power or the Kraken, you name it.
Yep.
We make it better, and then they outlaw it.
It's all in that, but that all starts in that room and working on stuff. But anyways, at series plate, 50 to 300 horsepower. You know why we stopped at 300? Because there's not a thing as one size fits all. Like that's in our competitors, they want to say, oh, this is a 50 to 800 horsepower plate. Well, whenever you start doing that, in order for that to happen, you have to make those flow channels really big. And that's when distribution starts to suffer. You got to have a window. It's either 50 to 300 or 300 to 600 or whatever. Like you got to design the product to what it's really being used for. And that's what we do.
Yeah. And that's why we have Stinger plates. Because when you want to step up to the best,
right?
The next best thing. You might as well, because then you're gonna struggle trying to make this do more than it should when we have something that does that exactly and perfectly.
You know what really makes it hard though is our product line, because there's so many different things for different things instead of just a one size fits all. It requires a really good sales tech department to explain and listen to what combo you're working on to make sure you're getting the right product. And that's an area we shine at.
Oh, yeah.
Call our competitor and then call us.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Yep.
So these are intakes that are in line to get worked on. And oddly enough, this is an EFI conversion. It's actually fixing a current EFI conversion. This we're designing fuel rails for. This one we're designing big ProMod style fuel rails. That's for Colt Carter for his diesel. Yeah. And this is his old system, and we're fixing to change it to a new rail system, which is great. And we got to get on it because his first race is this month.
Oh, okay.
May. So those are EFI conversions. This is a money maker. This is for. I'm not going to say cubic inch because I don't know if that's confidential, but this is for Brandon McGee's new car. Not new car, but new motor. No. You know, he sold the Fulton motor he had in there, and now he bought a Musee motor. And so we're fixing to put the nitrous treat to it, and it'll be another 6 stages of pure goodness. So
it'll have direct port on the outside. It'll have direct port on the inside. It'll
be a Trident on the outside, right? A nylon kit here. And then underneath another 2 kits.
And then 2 underneath.
Yeah.
So when you ask him how much he sprays, his answer is
a lot.
All of it. All
a lot
of it.
So back here's, you've been back here before. First of all, for you guys that have never had a shop tour, we're not doing a full shop tour. But we cut everything here. All of the trailer accessories, all the aluminum, switch panels, solenoid brackets, our new race jack caddies.
Yeah.
So
you can see these have been cut. These are bottle holders. They've been cut. They We leave the protective film on them because they come in the raw aluminum as we sell them. So then we'll bend these, and then, like I said, we take them over to Chase, and he does the final assembly and get them ready to ship out.
Let's see if Tate's welding anything up out here. He's either making a trailer accessory or a hot water bath. Looks like a hot water bath.
Yeah, that's a 20-pound hot water bath.
Okay. More 20-pound stuff. Gee, I wonder what's going on there. Why are we doing all this 20-pound stuff? So here's a start of a Pro Mod.
Yeah, for my
tray. And so I don't have a standard one here, but that gives you an idea of the depth of the Pro Mod. So this is what it looks like after it gets broke and laser etched, and then it'll go to be welded together. So let's go over to Colt here. This is another EFI conversion. This is not getting any nitrous. This is a boosted car, and he does drag and drive. Yep. So it's going to have the small Fuel Tech injectors on the outside with a smaller rail, right? Which is this bad boy right here. So you can see the rail size different. And then we got these Big Daddy Pro Mods on the inside. And we set it up like this very specifically for a reason. There's a lot going on this little short runner, and trying to get it all to fit and plug in. You got to be able to get the wiring to it, right? So this is, keep in mind, we haven't went through making it all beautiful, but this is obviously going to be your stands that you're making. So the way this is going to be set up, we're going to design it where he can plug it in from the side, or did we design it where he could do it on the outside? I can't remember.
So we have to cut out. We're going to cut out all this.
Okay.
Right there.
That way he can get to the plugs to plug in the inner side, and then these will be on the outside.
It would go back, but this one you can't go backwards on this guy.
And we scratched our head on this one for a little bit to figure out fat fuel rail down low, skinny fuel rail up top. How are we going to fit all this in and be able to wire it? And so it's just a lot going on, but this is fun fact. Colt's brother is welding back there, Tate. So we call them the Sahon brothers. Colt does the machine work. Tate welds it up, but this intake will be beautiful after it gets done. Right now, it's just looks like Frankenstein.
It's beautiful right now.
So another EFI conversion. So in case you guys haven't caught on, we do a lot of EFI conversions nonstop. So, and it don't just have to be nitrous. Don't get me wrong. We do a lot of nitrous stuff, but like it's crazy. Stuff comes in spurts. So like right now, there's to be machined. 3/4 of that is EFI conversions right now.
There you go.
So we'll make our way back to R&D. Grab my cheat sheet. So we just issued the cut materials for our race jack caddies. This is the prototype. The finished unit will actually be about 2 inches longer, and it'll have edge guard all around it to protect the jack from getting beat up. But you want to spin that thing out? Is this the wheels, or it's got different wheels too?
It has different wheels.
It has a little bit taller wheels, so that's easier to get in and out of the trailer. But this thing is so that you can literally just take your assembly and roll it out to the race car. And I've never seen nothing like it. So this is underneath our 860 Performance product line.
Yep.
And
it stands here to keep it level. It's got hooks here, so if you've got some E-track or something, you can ratchet strap it up against the trailer wall so it stays in place. You can also wrap something around there. Got some grips on it. I made sure a lot of these have just the foot feed, right? But Dave has the larger pump, so I want to make sure for those that have that set up, that pump would fit in there. There's a place for your hose. The finished one, the production one will also have a kind of like our jack holder. Have a little pocket for your handle here, and then these fit right in. And then I mean, you saw how easy it's pretty evenly balanced to be able to just rock it back, roll it out of the trailer, set it up, ready to go.
And these are not on our website yet, but they are available for purchase.
Yeah.
And they're offered in a raw finish or powder coated finish. And of course, the raw finish will have the 860 logo cut into it, and so will the powder coated.
Yeah, they both will.
So
Yeah.
that'll be part of the changes too. But I promise you, we've kind of drug our feet on bringing it to the market, just because we've been drowning in so many other projects. But I can't wait to see these getting rolled out of trailers at the racetrack, because whenever you see this, you're going to know, oh yeah, we created that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. All right, let's jump into some tech tips. Right, everybody likes a little tech, right? So with the most recent rules of, it's no longer MPK, it's
Yeah, there's a new name for it now.
speed productions,
Okay.
right? Still outlaws, but they opened up the rules to dual power adders, which is something we've been doing for years. Boost and juice, right?
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, the nitrous companies and the boosted companies would always say one or the other, and they would fight against each other. We're the only nitrous company that said, hey, that's actually, if you can force the air into the engine, which the engine's an air pump, but we can give it great air, why wouldn't you do both of them? I mean, it's the best of both worlds.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what's crazy is, because the manufacturers drove it in everybody's head for so long, one or the other, the boosted guys are always like, what? You can spray nitrous with that? Oh, you're going to blow it up, right? And until they do it. And then they're like, holy crap, why didn't I do this a long time ago? Right? So there are certain classes that don't allow dual power adders. So you got to pick or choose.
Right.
And generally the way I would choose, not just saying this because I'm a nitrous guy, but I'm great at reading the rules. Somebody that's good at deciphering the rules for the combination that's going to be on top for the year. I've seen guys go from nitrous to turbo to blower back to nitrous. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends on what they feel their edge is based on the technology that has advanced throughout the year on parts. And they set it up and they go compete. So really, there's not I always hear people say one or the other, and there's so much more to figuring out one or the other, right? And so,
Yeah, it's not just plugging in a new engine.
right.
It's your suspension settings, it's your converter, it's your gearing, it's your weight distribution, it's like a whole new car. And now you spend how long trying to relearn the same car you've had? Just
It happens. It happens.
it happens.
So with MPK, it really kind of brought to light the whole, you're seeing people that aren't as diverse in racing right now, realizing there's a much bigger world than just a turbo car out there. Like, holy crap, I can add nitrous with this turbo car. Mind blown, right? So let me explain to you why they work so well together. All right, so for you boosted guys, when does your car make the best boost? When the air molecule is good. Right? Whenever our altitude is good. We are able to put all that in a bottle. And then we are able to feed the turbo or the blower a great air molecule. All right, so that's going to make more power. Yes. But it's going to make more power because it's going to provide a better air temperature. It's going to knock the air temps down. And it's all about burning more fuel, right? Well, you're going to see it increase boost and knock the air intake temps down. Therefore, it's going to make more power. Now, if you need to make a little bit more power on top of it, it's a $5 nitrous jet away. You know what I mean? Literally, you just go to a bigger jet. You don't have to go to a bigger blower or a bigger turbo or anything like that. And that's what's going on here. So orange juice, this combo came out of Stitch, and it's the truck I flipped at Prescott. The only thing I've changed is I bought this awesome performance design intake. And this is actually one of 3 intakes that went out 2 weeks ago. This is a new style intake. They did it weighed 20 pounds.
Yeah, I was looking at it compared to the one on the cart over there where Performance Design helped us out.
Yeah, that's their intake too.
Yeah,
that's their higher end
This is
style.
the new one.
So I ran into a problem. I had Frankenstein's Iceman intake on here and had already gotten rid of the intercooler because with nitrous, I don't need the intercooler, right? And so I couldn't fit the hood on here, and I didn't want to cut the hood. I got one of those really nice Mike Caustic hoods.
Yeah, the Sunoco.
And I just didn't want to cut it. So I reached out to Performance Design, and they said, hey, you're in luck. We were in the first production run of this style intake, and it would complement exactly what you're doing very well. So I bought this intake. They cut me a good deal on it. They made sure I had it here in the amount of time I needed to be able to get this going. And I'm excited about it. Anyways, beautiful intake. That's the only thing that has changed on this combo from stitch to here.
Well, and it's right side up.
Yeah.
It's not upside down anymore.
Yeah.
So that's good.
We might need to put some skid plates on the roof.
Yeah, there you go.
But if you look here, generally with a blower application, so we have our boost and juice systems on there, right? Generally, I'll put a nozzle right here, and I'll spray it right in, whether it's a turbo or a blower. If it's traditional style blower, I'll blow it right into the compressor or whatever they're calling these things now. Again, you're talking to a nitrous guy. So
impeller.
in this case, on this one, I don't have the nozzle there because I already had an interspooler on stitch with a direct port. So I got 2 kits coming in right here. Right now, I have 200 on the first kit and 100 on the second kit. I don't know what we're going to need to run that 450-ish series. We look back, whenever we were in Prescott, we were making 18 pounds of boost. Now, this is a belt-driven setup. And that I got off track. So this is a belt-driven setup. It's not a crank-driven setup. My goal is to not battle belts, right? So I don't want to turn the boost way up. Whatever I need to make more power or make less power, the boost isn't going to change. It is what it is unless I need to turn it down. I'm going to do the rest with nitrous. So if I want to go out and try to run some faster no-time stuff, I'm just going to turn the nitrous up. I'm not going to change the pulley on the blower. I don't want to battle belts and belt slippage. And that typically is what happens when you start trying to spin these blowers even higher. It's not a cog setup because it was designed to fit in the S10 and I was very limited for space. So that's the advantage of having dual power adders. I'm compressing the air and now I'm feeding a bunch of nitrous in there. And you know, when we would show up with stitch, we would check the plugs first couple of passes just to get the tune-up lined out, and then we didn't pull the plugs the rest of the event. Once we had the tune-up and we were just racing, we weren't trying to make any more power, and it was just tire management, power management.
There you go.
It was the easiest truck to run. So I really enjoyed it. But anyways, that's the reason nitrous and boost complement each other so well. See if we got any questions before we jump into no questions. So the dual power adder gives you that advantage of compressing the air in the motor and then giving it the air molecule to work at its most efficient.
The good air.
Yes. Different ways and techniques of running nitrous with boosted applications would obviously be, you know, your single nozzle dry. Most of these cars are all aftermarket ECU, so we tend to do dry. You can run a wet kit, but these days you're going to see more dry systems with boosted applications than you will wet. You can also run a direct port, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
I don't really advise a direct port unless you're like really, really putting a lot of nitrous in it. And the reason why is because our goal is to knock the air intake temps down. So if we're back here, we're not going to temp down in the cylinder combustion chamber, but we're not doing it where it makes the heat, which is why I like putting the nozzle here, because this is what's making the heat. So let's go ahead and knock the heat out before it ever even gets up there, right? And then the interspooler, right? So the interspooler is like our EFI plates. It's got 6 discharges across the top. And in this case, I got 12 because I got nitrous and the fuel side spraying nitrous. And what that does is that creates a wall of nitrous, and it just saturates the air, the incoming air, to knock the temp down. So those are your most common ways of adding nitrous with a boosted application. Now, if you got like a C rotor or a root style blower, you'll see the plates with the nozzles here. I have never seen, and I was actually texting Kenny Hubbard this the other day. I have never seen the root style or seed blower, whatever you want to call it, with a single nozzle up here. And I don't know why you wouldn't. It would be that simple.
That's how they start them. They get their
Yeah.
bottle and they spray it right on the butterflies to.
Yeah, so why not just put a single nozzle right there to knock the air in, to give it air molecule, right? Because those applications aren't battling heat like these because it's a short runner. It's right here.
This.
Yeah. Well, that's not a blower.
Well, it's not a blower, but
yeah,
I mean, this sits on top.
Why not just put a nozzle right there where it just sprays in? I want to do that. I'm waiting for the guy to say, I'm your guy, right? And I'm going to make it super cheap for him to do that. All right, so that explains that. One of the most common things that people ask me all the time, because whenever they're a boosted car and they're going nitrous, I ask them, do you want to get rid of the CO2 bottle in the car? And they always seem puzzled, like, well, no, I got to operate my shifter and my transmission and my
valve,
yeah, and if it's a turbo car,
whatever, yeah,
boost controller, and I'm like, well, we can use nitrous for all that, and get so with all these cars, everything's about weight, right? So we're trying to get weight out of the car, and instead of having to manage 2 bottles, we could just manage 1, and so I'm going to show you how that's done. So I have a little bit bigger nitrous bottle than what's really needed in orange juice because it was a all nitrous car. But if you look, I'm going to jump in here. If you look at how this is set up, so I have the nitrous bottle here, and this is our inline regulator. So coming off the nitrous bottle, I'm coming to the regulator, right? And this is a CO2 regulator. This is the underneath our flow supply brand, and it's adjustable 0 to 475 PSI. This is a single passageway. We also have a dual as well, which is double adjustable. So let's say like you're running a Linko, that requires more air, in this case, nitrous pressure, right? So we would turn that half of the regulator up, and we would run the shifter and the parachute around 125 PSI. So in my case, I only have a parachute and a shifter. So I have a single adjustable regulator, and I am feeding the shifter solenoid with 125 PSI, and I'm feeding the parachute launcher with 125 PSI, and I'm running it all off the nitrous bottle. So now I don't have to manage a CO2 bottle and a nitrous bottle. I can do it all off of one thing. Simplifies the setup, gets some weight out of the car, and it's just easier. Right. So you could do that. This is literally, it's just whenever I tell you it's an inline regulator, the turbo guys and the blower guys and the guys that are used to using CO2, they don't realize that we can get rid of that big, ugly, industrial, brass, big gauged, heavy regulator that you got hanging off that industrial, non-powder coated bottle. Mm-hmm. And we can go to something sexy and put an inline regulator on it. And we also offer these for the guys that just want CO2.
Oh, yeah.
Same regulator, and we have it where it mounts off the bottle or in line. But you can do this all in one, right? It's nice and clean. All right. Any questions? Nope. You want to look at that? See if there's any questions. If anybody has any questions with this, our sales techs will respond to the questions in the video too. All right. So why a burn down tank? So generally on a boosted application, we run a catch tank at the back of the car. Well, on all my cars, I run the water and the transmission overflows at the back of the car anyways. I don't like overflows up at the front. I really don't even like catch tanks at the front of the car. But if you're a nitrous car and you're running a vacuum pump, it's got to have a tank up front. But the reason why I want it at the back of the car is because if something pukes, which, they also call it puke tanks. Mm-hmm. If something pukes, it's behind the tire. So if it pukes up here and it gets underneath the tire, then you're going to put it in the wall, right? So our goal is to get it behind the tire. Let the track clean it up afterwards, but you saved your car. So this is our 3-gallon burn down tank. And this one's a little bit bigger. And there is a rule, and I can't remember what it is, but there is a rule according to the percentage of the size tank you need versus the amount of oil that the motor holds. And I need to make it a point to remember that because that's important. But you want, if the motor lets go and it sends oil out the valve cover top, you want this reservoir to be able to contain it, right? So I'm running, so underneath right now, I have my catch tanks for the water in the transmission. I'm actually going to pull them off, and I'm going to run those overflows into here. And then from the valve covers, this is a 16 or 20? 16.
16, yeah.
This is a 16 ORB female. And then we also have a, hand me that. We also have a drain right there that will go through the floor so that we can drain the tank. So not only that, so this weekend, I had a customer, one of our customers sent me a video of his car. And as he was staging the car, there's a fireball underneath the car.
Oh, no.
You know what it was? It's an alcohol car. His catch tank's at the front of the car. All those fumes ignited in the catch tank because it was all building up, alcohol
Around the heat source.
and it ignited.
Yeah.
And he still made a clean pass, and I don't think it hurt the car, but there's a whoo. You can see it in the video.
Woo.
And so that's another great reason to have this here because it'll come out the chimney. You see these cars that are E85 and alcohol tend to make a lot of engine condensation and sludge. Look,
yeah.
and so this gives us an area to vent it to. And because of the baffling system, when we leave and the G-force is doing this, it prevents it from coming out this and getting onto the track. This just gives it a way of breathing away from the car, getting those fuel vapors away from the car, so there's not a huge fireball source underneath there. So that's another great thing. We offer it 1.5 and 3 inch. I've price shopped everybody else that makes similar items in the market, and we're kicking everybody's ass.
Well, apparently
Price wise, and they come powder coated and looks like this. And
I feel like every time I get a new program to cut stock, it's one or both of these catch tanks
Yes.
are also included because they are hotcakes.
they're flying off the shelf.
Yeah.
They really are. And so I wish all the products were like that. But
Yeah,
so we're fixing to mount this in here. As a matter of fact, this is running the hoses to the firewall and all that stuff. This is what I have left. And we do not currently make a through the firewall bulkhead big enough because I run 16A in hoses. I found a nice one on Motion Raceworks website. So I ordered it and I next day aired it in so that I don't have to wait for us to design and machine something. But in the future, we will be making a firewall bulkhead to be able to go with the related items of this tank. But let's see, it's actually over here. Give them a shout out because it was a nice part, but I don't know what I did with it. Is
it in the FedEx box?
Maybe. Oh, here it is. So this is their version.
Oh, yeah.
And it's actually a pretty nice part. It doesn't come with a gasket like ours does. So we'll just do some silicone. But it's a nice part. And it's 16AN ORB both sides, which will be nice. Glove will put 90s there and at the fire I'll bring it through. So it's nice when we can find stuff. A lot of our products came from us making it because we needed it for one of our cars.
Right.
And that's a longer process than, somebody makes this and ordering it. But we will be designing our own version to go with, let's go over this way. This is our nitrous bulkhead through, and it's also ORB to ORB. And this is how I feed my nitrous line into the cab of the car. And it comes with a gasket. So we laser cut the gaskets to go with the part. And it's got 4 studs in the back that are also removable.
Yes.
And so we'll design our dual. It'll look just like this, but it'll be dual. And that'll be for your bigger water tank setups. Man, that's kind of it. I still got to make a radiator hose, put the belt on. We just finished setting up and getting the clearances right for the distance. I think my spring in this is bad, so I ordered another one. I'm not real sure, but ProCharger next day aired me some pieces I need, and then we just got to wire in the nitrous solenoids, and we're ready to go test. So, and my new Frankenstein heads. So Thompson Motorsports built me this motor for Stitch, and it's a 427, and it's got Frankenstein F7 heads on it.
Okay.
And my nitrous motor is a 434 that the school built me, and it has a set of CID's LS7 heads on it. And so what I've noticed is whenever I went to put the front end on after putting this motor in, the headers are sitting higher. So the deck height on these heads are a little higher than that. Now, Carlos sent me one of his LSR blocks from Concepts for my nitrous motor. And that combo is going to be going in Stitch now. So
Okay.
Stitch is at L&M, not electronics. J&M, got it backwards. J&M Collision. I should know better. He's a good friend of mine.
Yes.
Anyways, and he has cream pie right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we're actually picking cream pie up today, but that's a whole nother story.
I was wondering why the trailer was hooked
Yeah.
up. Okay.
So, anyways, he's fixing Stitch for me rolling it over, and then all the nitrous combo will go into Stitch, and we're going to go race 490 with it. So instead of redoing the chassis, Orange Juice is built to go as fast as I want to go.
Right.
And instead of redoing the chassis on Stitch, I'm just going to slow it down a little bit. So keep it consistent and fun. But anyways, I babbled on enough. Let you guys get to lunch. And next week, tune in for WAZZUP with Nitro Dave. And I don't know who our guest will be. For you guys that are watching, if you have something you would like to get technical advice on for us to cover, make some suggestions. But until then, tune in next week, 11 a.m. Central Time. What's up with Nitro Dave? It's over.